few more things I gotta ask you about from Eugene outside of the Canadians. Upsets, that word's kind of interesting. I don't know if these are all necessarily quote unquote by definition upsets. I'll call them maybe the person we thought was going to win didn't win. The favorite didn't win. I want you to tell me which one you were most surprised at. Karsten Warholm not winning the 400 meter, finishing second to Rai Benjamin. Noah Lyles, second in the 100 meter. Of course, Christian Coleman with a 9.83 matching his world lead this year. Or someone we've talked about a lot in these two seats, Sha'Carri Richardson, fourth in the 100 meters. Rank those ones. Biggest surprise to least biggest surprise.
Coleman's win and Shericka Jackson's win, I wouldn't necessarily categorize those as huge upsets, only because the men's 100 meters is still like a pretty, like the competition for that podium is really tight. I wasn't that surprised, especially Coleman ran 9.83 the other week. He's finally getting back to the sprinter he was before that 2-year suspension for missing drug tests. And so, yeah, in any race, can I choose between Coleman and Lyles? Not necessarily. Women's 100, same thing. Tell me Shericka Jackson runs 10.70, then there's a very slim chance that anyone beats her. And Sha'Carri, she, like, when she's at her best, she's the best. She's proved it. You know, but she loses races every now and then. She's not bulletproof. She's not a machine. You know, she lost to Julian Alfred in July. It happens sometimes. Now, I was a little bit surprised to see Karsten Warholm's kind of late season fade, but again, you know, these people are human, so we forget. Like, he has run sub 46 seconds for the 400 meter hurdles. That's like a mind-blowing time. And it's so difficult to get back there. Whereas Rai Benjamin is a guy who is capable of running as fast as he did this weekend, but for whatever reasons this season, he hadn't until now. You know, if he produces that race at a different time, he gets, you know, a higher level medal in Budapest, but he did it this time.
We saw a couple world records broken in Eugene. It's interesting because they could not have been more different, right? You have Mondo breaking the world record for the 7th time. Imagine being able to say you just keep upping your own record. He still looked as excited as ever when he broke that record, 6:23, and he broke the record he set just 7 months ago. And then you have Gudaf Tsegay, who broke a record that was pretty fresh by someone named Faith Kipyegon.
This was a brand new world record.
Yeah,
that we thought would stand for a while.
Exactly. I mean, talk about these two very, very different records.
Well, one, I think, again, as we talked about earlier in the season, this is where the wave light technology really helps.
Yeah.
If you're capable of setting the 5,000 meter world record, chances are you are so much faster than everyone else in the field that you're gonna be running by yourself. And if you're running by yourself with no one or nothing to pace you, it's a lot harder to maintain that pace. Whereas if you have the wave light, you can turn off a part of your brain, turn off the part of your brain that has to calculate stuff,
and just
follow the lights.
Yeah.
Right. For her to have done that this quickly after Faith Kipyegon set her record is pretty stunning, and it makes me wonder what the response will be from Faith Kipyegon next summer, because I don't imagine Faith Kipyegon is just going to sit around and let somebody else hold on to the world record. To a certain extent, you can't control it, but she's going to give it her best effort.
Quickly back to Mondo, though. I mean, he looked so excited when he broke that record, jumping up and down, everything else. And like I said, it's the 7th time he's done it. So maybe this isn't a good question for him, but can guys get bored? Or athletes get bored when they're just bored. You know, they just continue to dominate and there really isn't a peer for them?
He clearly isn't bored, but also he's not competing against other people necessarily, right? It's
numbers and history.
And it's against the bar.
Yeah.
So you can always change the bar to make it more challenging. And again, I would love to get a look at his contract to see what kind of bonuses he earns when he sets a world record. And if Puma and Red Bull and the rest of his sponsors are tired of paying these bonuses. Because with Mondo, I don't think he's at that point now, but maybe 4 or 5 world records ago, he probably knew he could break the world record by 3 centimeters, but he would say, well, let me break it by 1. And then break it by 1 again, and then break it by 1 again. And I'm sure the sponsors at this point are like, listen, Mondo, we love you, but you're bankrupting us.
You raised the bar all year long here on Athletics North. Thanks so much for doing this. Thanks for a great year. Don't go far, because we're going to talk to you again.
All right, we'll see you soon.